It was great. Thank you very much. A bit busy, and the beginning of the week was also busy. I had to go to Toluca yesterday.
Oh, okay. For what reason?
Yeah, I'm teaching a class at a university over there, at a public university. It's an online class.
Oh,
And
okay.
every 3 or 4 months, I have to go to pick up to sign some papers,
Yeah.
to to do some paperwork mostly, nothing
Yes.
academic. And I'm back. I came back very late, 1:30 in the morning, and today I had to drive to Aguascalientes in the morning. Yesterday I went by bus, but today I drove to Aguascalientes and I'm back. I just came back.
Ah, okay. Oh, right, teachers. Good.
Yes, very good. Very good. I wanted to ask you, Luis, how much do you like? I know that you like philosophy.
Yeah.
How much do you know about contemporary philosophers?
um, how much like or how much
How
no
much
or
do you like? Yes. How do you like contemporary philosophers?
I think that I don't study a lot of contemporary los contemporáneos. Sorry.
Okay, not
But I
contemporary.
know some a little bit of some philosophers contemporaries.
Okay. And how do you like their thoughts and ideas? What do you think about, for example, you know the ideas of Socrates, Plato, obviously, Aristotle?
Wood teacher?
Yeah, I'm going to show you a table with some classical
Yeah.
philosophers and what
Yes.
they believe. And I wanted to contrast that with what you believe now. In other
Okay.
words, some philosophers have some ideas, right? And some of them are still valid to this day. Some people still believe in these philosophers and their philosophy. But I wanted to ask you what you think about some of these philosophers. Let me show you a little table
Okay. Thank
about,
you.
about them and their ideas. And I wanted to check what you think of them. For example, one of them is clearly, obviously, is Socrates, right? So, how do you like Socrates? What do you think about his ideas?
Of
Do you
Socrates.
concur with him? The Socratic method, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, let's read about him a little bit. So here is Socrates, Plato, obviously. So let's read a bit about Socrates and what you think about him, and if you believe that he's still valid. Can you?
Okay. Philosopher Socrates. Key thoughts focus on ethics and human behavior, famous for the Socratic method, a form of cooperative arguments dialogue. Believe in the importance of self knowledge, know thyself.
Yeah, that's ancient English, archaic. Is know yourself, but they say thyself, right?
Thyself. Oh, and what is his meaning, teacher?
Know yourself. Know yourself.
Okay, 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 okay. Ah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
thyself is the same as thyself. Thyself is ancient English, and it's the same as yourself.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. Yeah.
What do you think about him? What his thought, his idea, the importance of the Socratic method?
Um, I think that Socrates are I think that the things very admirable of Socrates are start with the principio, with the first steps of the history of philosophy. Start to talk and many ideas that the people don't start to think like yes that another people don't go for his mind, his ideas, and I think this is the very things admirable for Socrates, and he have another ideas, for example, that don't stay here. I remember that Socrates have one idea of the memory. Socrates think that the every each people need to have his own ideas, and for why he don't write any book, the things that we knows about Socrates was for Plato. For Socrates think that yes, nosotros debemos, we need to make way de nuestras
Our
own ideas. Sorry.
our own ideas. Okay, that makes sense. Obviously, each of us has our own ideas, and that is an important concept.
Yeah,
Very good. Okay, Luis, thank you very much. Many people still refer to Socrates as one of the precursors of modern philosophy.
yeah.
I don't know if you agree with that, but one of his followers, I believe Plato was a disciple of Socrates, was he not?
Yes.
Okay, he was a student of Socrates, actually, it says here. Can you read a bit about Socrates and his what he provided to modern philosophy, please?
Okay, I read Plato, no?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Plato, Cathos, a student of Socrates and founder of the Academy in Athens. Theory of forms, abstract non-material ideas or forms represent the most accurate reality. Advocate for philosopher kings as the ideal rules in the republic.
Okay, so he wanted to represent a reality in an accurate form. He wanted he didn't want us to think of reality as an imagination, but in a real form, very
Teacher,
accurate
sorry.
reality.
What is the meaning of accurate?
Correct, precise,
Okay.
precise reality, accurate reality,
Mhm.
as opposed to inaccurate.
Yeah.
For example, I can say there are 11 planets in the solar system. You say, no, that's inaccurate.
Mhm.
That's not
Oh,
accurate. That
okay.
precisely we have nine or possibly eight planets, right?
Yeah.
But not 11. 11 is inaccurate. Well, he wanted us to represent reality or forms that represent the most accurate reality. What do you think about this?
Okay. I remember some ideas of Plato that I think that these ideas are the ideas that these points talk to this. That some ideas Plato saw that start to think that exist another things or metaphysic things that escape of her sentidos, ¿cómo se llama, teacher?
Senses?
Senses, yeah, his senses. And these ideas inspired I think that Plato are more influent than Socrates even. I think the Plato is the more important and influences. I remember one philosopher that I like that was inspired for Plato, but don't accept the things of Plato, all the things of Plato, but inspired for Plato is San Agustin, the philosopher San Agustin.
Okay, all right.
He takes for Plato the ideas that more a lot of the things of the values or ethic or a lot of the senses that the human gives to the things stay on another world, imagine world, and his it is one part or inside of each of yourself that his memory of this part, remember these things. For example, for this stay the aesthetic, not the aesthetic things, for example.
Very interesting. Well, you really versed in these topics, Luis. That's amazing. That's great. Um, well, okay. The next one is Aristotle,
Yeah.
and he seems to have been a student of Plato. So this is a list of successors. As you can
Yeah.
see, this is like a legacy, right? Socrates was the teacher of Plato, and Aristotle was the student of I mean, Plato was the teacher of Aristotle.
Yeah.
What do you think about him? Can you read the synthesis about Aristotle?
Yes. Aristotle, a student of Plato and tutor of Alexander the Great. Development the theory of the golden mean, virtue lies between extremes, emphasizes empirical observation and, and categorization of knowledge.
Yes, this concept seems to be very important even now, right?
Yeah.
You set virtue in the middle of extremes. So if you have extremely lenient, right, like very, very lenient or lax, right, and you have the opposite, which is very, very strict, well, he says that virtue is in the middle, right? You
Okay.
don't have to
Yeah.
be extremely lax so that there is total anarchy, right?
Lenient is like ligero, maybe?
Exactly. Lenient,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
laxo, the opposite of strict.
Yes.
Right? For example, I went to a very strict school of nuns, monjas, when I was a kid. That was extremely strict. And then I went to a very, very lenient or lax high school with a priest, a father that had a musical school. That was the opposite.
Mhm.
So, according to Aristotle, virtue should be in the middle, not extremely strict and not extremely lax. What do you think about this idea of the opposites and virtue is in the middle?
Yeah. Mm, I think this idea it could be extremely relation with the concept of justice. No.
Well,
Um,
absolutely, absolutely.
yeah, the justice between the human notions that the people could be believe on the things right and the things bad. No, maybe could
Right
be.
and wrong things, right? Wrong and
Could
wrong.
be. I don't really sure. I think with the when the people talk about the right things and the bad things, I think that these concepts are human notions, and for this, I think that it's important that each people that stay rationalizes these concepts don't escape for his soul this idea that is are only human notions and for por lo tanto for
Therefore,
therefore um, in a lot of times the right things are made the right de como la el bien, ¿cómo sería el bien, teacher?
goodness.
Goodness, okay, okay, the goodness. The goodness, maybe don't are the better options, no?
Yeah, well, goodness as opposed to badness is the
Yeah.
principle of law, which comes, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but this concept, of course, it doesn't come with the Romans, but Romans stated what is called now the civil law or Roman law. Roman
Okay.
law, which to these days is prevalent. The Romans were the ones who instituted the civil law, which is the Código Civil, right, or Derecho Civil, or what
Uh-huh.
is called Roman law, or also is known as the Napoleonic law. Everything started here. And it begins with the philosophical concepts that you just mentioned. You
Yeah.
just talked about justice, and justice
Yes.
is a very human notion, as you correctly pointed out, and but it's absolutely imperative that we recognize good and bad as an agreement of people. You and I agree this is good, and you and I agree that this is bad, and our friends and the community get together and we say this is not acceptable, this is totally acceptable. Do you agree with this idea?
To say this is totally acceptable, teacher?
No, to say that the principle of justice, the principles of law,
Okay, uh-huh.
started with, well, they didn't start with the Roman law, but it became prevalent with the Romans. The
Uh-huh.
Romans instituted the Roman law, Derecho Romano, which is the same as the civil law, Derecho Civil, or
Yeah.
Napoleonic law, Derecho Napoleónico. Is the same. Do you agree that the Romans established the civil law as a method of delivering justice in the society?
So the Roman law are a system of laws on the society Roman.
On the Roman society, yes, the civil law. The Romans instituted the civil law, which is the same as the Roman law.
Okay, and the Napoleonic law is a oppositive of
No, no, it's the same with
I
a
see.
different name.
Okay. And your question are if I agree with a system of laws.
I mean, the question is if you agree, if you agree
Uh-huh.
that the Romans instituted a very important notion, the notion of justice
Okay.
in the civil law. The Romans said, well, how are we going to judge people in society? Well, we need a book, we need a set of rules,
Yeah.
conjunto de reglas. And this set of rules is the civil law,
Oh, okay.
which is
Yeah.
the same as the Roman law.
Yes.
Do you agree that it was one of the legacies of the Romans?
Okay. Yeah. I think it could be depends, no, for the content of the book of laws that they have written. Plus, I think many problems, quotidian problems, it could be relative, no, and maybe the exist some ideas that don't stay in the books and don't explain it here, and maybe exist a lot of problems that don't cover the ideas of the books, no.
Could be, could be. Yeah, actually, there are other philosophers like Confucius. If you read about Confucius, you're going to find a lot of talented opinions from him. Here we have, for example, he talks about social harmony, which is a fantastic concept, in my opinion. So let's read about Confucius, please. Luis,
Yeah.
can we, please?
Confucius focus on morality, family loyalty, and social harmony. Advocate for the importance of education and self-cultivation. Emphasizes the five relations, the concept of grand humanist.
Yeah, exactly. So, what do you think about his legacy? What do you think about Confucius' legacy?
um, for Confucius, I don't know a lot of. I don't are a philosopher that I have been studying. I only remember some famous aphorism, but I don't really sure of his principal ideas of talks, teacher.
Yeah, what aphorisms do you remember from him?
For example, give give. I'm gonna to traduce.
The fish?
Yeah, give
Yeah,
a fish to one man, and he's gonna to eat one day.
you will feed him for one day. Yes,
But teach to him to pescar,
teach him how to fish,
to fish.
and you will feed him his whole life. Yeah, this
All
is it.
right.
This is a very famous aphorism. A very beautiful. I don't know if you think this is fantastic.
Yes, this idea is like to me also.
You like it, right? I like it too.
Yeah.
So let's see what it says. Um, More or less like this.
Mhm.
So let's read it, Luis. Please, can you?
Okay. Give a fish to a man and you will feed him for 1 day. Teach him to how to fish and you will feed him his whole life.
Teach him how to fish, and you will feed him his whole life. Yeah, is it not fantastic that people become independent when they learn something? When you teach them something, they become independent. You feed them for a whole life, huh?
Yeah.
I think this is a great aphorism. Well, that's Confucius. And then there is another one which I have never heard of, which is a person by the name of Lao Tzu.
Lao Tzu. Okay. Lao Tzu, founder of Taoism and author of the Tao Te Ching, emphasizes living in harmony with the Tao, the way, which is the source of all existence.
Right. So Tao is the way, your path, your way, right? You walk through life, and life is supposed to have a path, right? An origin and a destination. Let's say that this is our destination in life,
Okay.
destination, which the Greeks used to call it fate, destiny, right? Destiny. All right.
Also, they origin the idea of the destiny.
I don't know. I think
Okay.
I don't know if they were the originators, but there is an idea of fate. There is an idea of destiny,
Yeah.
and
Are
this
you
is
believing the destiny, teacher, that exists could be exist?
that the destiny could exist. That's
Yeah.
a very interesting story, very interesting concept. What do you think, Luis?
I think it's a very yes, also interesting question. Um, I don't really sure, but I'm going to say yes. For we are all the things and are the people are people constituted for his past, and this past construct a future that we are this future that before yes that before are the destiny.
Of course, yes, yes, yes. And our present then makes our future, more or less, right?
We are what are because of our past, of present. Yeah, yes,
More or less. Of course, you're going to have a better future if you have a better present, right?
yes. Each little thing that we made constitutes this future. For this, we are like a dynamic destiny, no, in progress or development.
I like this concept very much. Dynamic destiny. I love the concept. Oh, it's fabulous. Dynamic destiny. Sounds great. We are constantly building our destiny, aren't we?
Yeah, I think that the people don't are one static thing. The people are like one tension thing that stay on with a lot of changes and grow. Grow es como crecer, ¿no? Teacher?
Growth,
Growth.
crecimiento.
Yeah. Yes. I think the people live in on his this his present on tension.
Right. And that has been a very interesting and delighted topic for academicians, writers, novelists. I don't know if I ever told you the story of subject called
Súbdito.
Salim was the subject in a kingdom.
Subdint. What is the meaning of subdint, teacher?
Subject, súbdito in a
Ah,
kingdom.
okay, okay, okay.
In a
Yeah.
kingdom. In the kingdom, the equivalent to the king was the Khalifa, right? The
Okay.
Khalifa. The Khalifa was the king. The Khalifa is the king, right?
Yeah.
And one day, Salim saw the death in the market. Salim saw the death with capital D, vio a la muerte in the market.
Okay.
He was very scared. So he went to see the king. And he said, Mr. Khalifa, which is the Khalifa, king,
Yes.
Tsar, etc., is the same. So he says, I am a good person. I am a good father. I am responsible. I am honest. I work. I pay my taxes, always taxes, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm a good man, but I saw the death in the market. So I'm very scared. I am very scared. I don't want to die. So Salim says that he's scared, tiene miedo.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to die.
Yeah.
So he goes to see the king, the Khalifa. And what do you think the Khalifa did?
Mm, maybe he ignored Salim. Salim.
No, 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 no. He says, that's not possible. You are a good subject. You are
Yeah.
a good man. You feed your family. You are exemplary. So, assistant, come. He brought his assistant. Give Salim my best horse. Salim, take my best horse and run away. Escape from Baghdad. Go to Damascus.
Okay.
Go. So, escape from Baghdad and go to Damascus. Okay?
Yeah.
So Salim escapes from Baghdad and runs away to Damascus. Okay, he's on the best horse and he's on the way to Damascus. And then the king says, the Khalifa says to his assistant, go to the market and tell the death to come to see me. So the assistant goes to the market.
Yeah.
He sees the death and says, Death, Mr. Death, right? The Khalifa wants to see you. Yes, of course. And he's very obedient, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And so the death goes and sees the Khalifa. And the Khalifa faces the death and tells him, why are you scaring, asustando,
Yeah.
subject Salim? He's a good man. He pays taxes. He has a good family. He's very obedient.
Okay.
Why are you scaring him? ¿Por qué me estás asustando, right?
Yeah.
And the dead says, I'm sorry, Mr. Khalifa.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to scare Salim. On the
Okay.
contrary, I was surprised. I was surprised. And the Khalifa says, why are you so surprised? And the dead responds, well, I wonder, what is Salim doing here in Baghdad if today in the night we have an appointment, una cita, in Damascus tonight?
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
So, he was surprised, estaba sorprendido, right? ¿Qué está haciendo aquí Salim si tenemos una cita en Damasco en la noche, right?
Yeah.
So he was escaping from Baghdad, but his death was going to happen in Damascus in the night. So he was running to the death. Estaba
Yeah.
escapando a la muerte, right? That means that we cannot escape our destiny. That's the idea of this fable.
Yes.
Well, it's great. I don't know if I believe that there is something like this, right? But sometimes we try to escape our destiny, and we are running to our destiny.
Yeah. For example, imagine that you could know how do you gonna to die. No, imagine. The people that wanted to say this answer say that, for example, you will gonna to die for the comida, no, the yes,
Poison by food,
by food,
food
yeah.
poisoning. Okay.
And for this, you are gonna to to healthy, no, a lot
Mhm.
of,
Yeah.
um, but your diet is the same thing that kills to you, no, that you don't
Yeah, it
know
could
how.
be.
Yes,
Yeah,
and this stealing, no, the destiny, you don't escape for this, escape, no, for this.
exactly. That's a great example, actually. Great example, right? The new diet killed him.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting concept. Um, do you think that people can know their destiny? The destiny is in the future. How can you know the destiny?
how sorry, can you repeat the question, teacher?
How can you know, ¿cómo puedes saber? How can you know your destiny if the
Oh,
destiny is in the future, not in the past?
yeah.
How can we know it? Something that has not happened.
Mm, I think these things, it could be on very relation now with the with travel on the time, no, with go to the future, no, imagine.
Yeah,
And these things, I remember one concept on the of the quantum physics. The I don't know for why particulars of, or what are these things, or I don't remember if I the cuerdas, I don't remember, teacher, but this theory say that all the universe stay from yes, stay in on he state constituted by, for example, I don't remember, so I'm gonna to bring one example, for 12 principal quantum particles, no,
correct. Yes.
and they say that these are could be calculate his way of moves, of movements, and his behavior or his variations. In the thing that success with this, that if we could construct a machine, a very big machine, a computer, that it could be calculate this each particle on the universe, we stay saw the future, because even her own ideas, her own occulted thoughts are constituted by these particles. Whatever things that you imagine, the matter and the antimatter, and if we could be calculate his harmony, his development, and his behavior, we could be say see the future.
Right. They are all very interesting concepts. For example, you mentioned the concept of matter, physical matter, and antimatter. Right. These are two important concepts.
Yeah.
The same concept of antimatter is very abstract. What is antimatter? Even because
Yes.
even vacuum is matter, right? Vacuum, vacío,
Mhm.
is belongs to the matter concept, not antimatter,
Yeah.
right? When I think in quantum physics, they have the positrons and antipositrons and these minuscule particles, electronic particles, which refer to as, from the energetic perspective, they define the antimatter. And it's a complex concept because instead of providing energy, subtracts energy. So they say that these antiparticles exist, and they prove that with quantum physics. But I don't know if that is good evidence
Mhm.
to say something that we can save the world. What is save the world? Save the world is a human notion, as you say, whereas
Yes.
the life cycle of objects, let's say a star is born, right? A star is born, nace una estrella,
Okay.
grows, grows, and dies.
Yeah.
Grows, let's say, grows,
Mhm.
crece, glows, brilla, glows, grows, glows, and dies. Y muere. How can we stop that? That's a natural process for stars, for humans too. Do we want to stop or to prevent death? Or when we say we want to save the world, that concept is not very specific, right? Save the world from what? You see?
Yeah. But teacher, this idea that the star is born is only a way for talk this idea, or really the star is a life thing? No, or
Well, it depends on the definition of life. But for example, if it's like if you turn on a match, cerillo, right? You light
yeah.
a match.
Mhm.
The is the match alive or is not? It's gonna perish. It's gonna dissolve. It's a
Yeah.
combustion that's gonna extinguish itself.
Okay.
It's gonna be extinguished. What I mean by be born and die is that you ignite a fireball. You ignite a fire. There is fire. That
Yes.
fire is not gonna be perennial. It's not gonna be forever. There's gonna be an extinction of that fire. Do you agree?
Yeah, we are. The all the things don't escape for the power of the time, no?
Exactly, exactly. It can be
Yeah.
long or can be short, but everything cannot escape from the power of the time. Exactly. But what I mean is these concepts were already discussed thousands of years ago, lots of a long time ago, right? That's what
Yeah.
it says here in our what is the presentation here? Let me show here, right?
Okay.
They were already talking about destiny. Yeah, you read that very correctly, right? It was Plato, Aristotle, and later Confucius and Lao Tzu,
Slots. Yeah.
right? And then we reach Epicurus. Can you read a bit about
Epicurious.
him, please? I'm sure you're familiar with him, more or less.
Yeah. Emphasizes living in harmony with the Tao, the way, which is the source of all existence. Founded Epicurus nymphs, which thought that pleasure, specifically mental pleasure, is the highest good. Okay.
Okay. And then the second concept that Epicurus had is a simple living, right?
Oh, I don't see it. Sorry, I don't see it.
Oh, okay.
Believed in the importance of friendship and simple living, argued that the gods are indifferent to human affairs, and that fear of death is irrational.
Yeah, I believe that he might have thought that it was irrational because we're gonna die anyways. No matter what we do, we're gonna die sooner or later.
Yeah, but I think that if the people it will gonna to die suddenly or later, it don't like are a indicio o indicio, no sé cómo indicio en inglés cómo se dice, teacher.
A hint,
Yes, a hint to that the gods are indifferent to humans. It don't need to be
it doesn't need to be related.
related. I don't think this.
Well, mm,
Imagine that we prayed to God, don't gonna to death, no?
right, okay.
God, it will be when I think that it's very difficult rationalize the concept of God, no?
Yeah,
Because we on his own thoughts stay a lot of
paradigms.
paradigms, yes, paradigms that it will be to stop, no, to reach to a concept of God. For example, we always or are accustomed, no, to have on his talk that God are goodness, no goodness.
God is good. God is good. Yes.
Yes, God is good, but we could be imagine that God God don't need to enmarcasite or to
To
encuadrar
frame. To frame.
to frame.
To frame.
Yes, to frame on her own concept of the goodness, no? For example, I think that is good one action, but maybe and in the point of view of God, it's a different things, no, or it's a different concept. And I think that the view of God is this omnipotent view that they know all the things. Now they stay over on nosotros,
Over us. Above us.
over us.
Above
Yes.
us.
Um, Therefore, they need to have the absolute truth, no? And this still in be ideas that we are really accustomed to think, no? When are stay thinking on God. This is still in be another paradigm, no? Or
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, here is they are all complex concepts,
yeah,
and people will have different thoughts and different ideas about the same, even the same concept of God, right?
yeah,
There will be different beliefs, different definitions, different ideas about God. What is funny and is interesting is that he believed in the importance of friendship and simple living. Epicurus didn't think that a very complex or sophisticated type of life was necessary. He rather believed or favored the
uh-huh.
importance of friendship and simple living. What do you think he referred to when he said simple living? What did he mean by this simple living? What comes to your mind, Luis, when you say when Epicurus said simple living?
Simple living.
What do you imagine by this?
Um, if I frame, what is the meaning of frame, teacher?
Friendship, amistad,
No, 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 no. Frame. When in the concept God will to, I want to say
encuadrar.
like
Frame,
encuadrarse, no,
frame is
enmarcarse.
encuadrar, right? Frame.
Frame.
Yes, encuadrar.
Encuadrar. Ay, no lo vi. Perdón. Sorry, sorry, sorry.
No problem, no problem.
Okay, okay, okay. If we frame now to the thoughts of this period of history, maybe the simple living it will be a living we don't have a lot of ambitions or wishes now,
Mhm.
very or yes, I think this is it will be a principle or a detonant argument, no, I don't know.
Right, a trigger, trigger is detonador, right?
Oh, okay,
Trigger
sorry.
would be an important trigger. Okay, yeah, no, no, it's okay. We're learning new vocabulary. Trigger, uh, all right, it's an important trigger. That's going to trigger many things. Absolutely, absolutely. They say that the fear of death is irrational. In other words, why do we fear the death if it's going to happen anyways? Don't be afraid of it. Just accept that one day, sooner or later, it's going to come. It's part of life. So
Yeah,
don't get worried about death, but rather worry about having a nice and pleasant life. I suppose that's the interpretation.
yeah. Mm, Imagine, teacher, that the dead it's are a person, no, and
Okay,
the dead decide the things, no.
all
The
right.
dead are irrational for us, no, but maybe for the dead these things are not irrational, no.
This
It's
thing is
kind of
not
rational,
irrational.
no.
Maybe it's not irrational. Yes.
Yes, maybe, and maybe if it's still be related with the concept of God, no? At his point of views.
Related, yes, can be related to the concept of
Yeah,
God. Absolutely, yeah, could be. Absolutely, yes, it could be. Uh, but it's funny that Epicurus thought that we shouldn't be afraid of death. It's irrational to be afraid of death because it's going to happen sooner or later. So enjoy life was more or less the message, I would
yeah.
imagine.
I think he's a very actually popular, no, thought, no.
Yeah, it's very popular, but look when it was originated in the times of Epicurus.
Yes, that is the interesting, no thing.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, let's take a look at Zeno of Citium, which I didn't hear of before. Let's see what this.
Teacher, Seno of Citium is Xenon en español, Xenon.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. No, no, I don't really sure.
You weren't sure? All right.
Founder of Stoicism, which
Stoicism, the
Stoicism,
Stoicismo, yeah.
which teaches the development of self-control and fortitude as a means to overcome destruction emotions, emphasize living in accordance with the nature and accepting the present moment, believing that virtue is the only true good and is sufficient for happiness.
Yeah. Well, there have been many, many thinkers, many philosophers,
Yeah.
most of them really, really good. Um, Zeno had also the what do you call these? The paradoxes. Remember that?
Oh yes, like the paradox of the arrow of Xenon, are you know,
Exactly, exactly, exactly.
or the road of Xenon. But these paradox are solved they actually. But I think that the arrow of Xenon is still in be a paradox.
It's still a paradox. Yeah, yeah, it is. Um, the one thing that he mentions that I like quite a bit is the importance of living in accordance with nature and accept the present moment. We live now. Yeah, we have a past. You mentioned correctly, I think that is a correct thought, that we are what we have been making every moment in the past. And what we are building now, we are building our future.
Yes.
Every person is building the future. With every act they make, they are like building a house. Well, we're building our future. Your future will be brilliant. Most probably, yes. Why? Because you're building a good career, good practices. You like philosophy, you like math, you have a
Yeah.
good heart, you're a good person, you have a good family. I mean, everything is nice. So if I had a crystal ball, I would say, no, Luis, not your family is going to have a brilliant future. Why? Because, well, because it's like a plant. You are watering the plant,
Yeah.
you're putting nutrients, you're doing great, right? So
Yes.
you
Yes. Yes.
cannot expect that the plant will be dry or sad if you are nurturing, fertilizing it, watering, etc.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but you are building it with your actions every day. So I like this concept very much. So how can we say, oh, fate, destiny is being so bad with me? No, that does not exist. For me, that is nonsense because we have the power of decision or not. What do you think?
Yes, yes, but I think this on this concept we need to be very careful with the interpretation of, for example, that you say that the one people say that oh the future are bad with me, no, or the
Yeah.
destiny, no?
Some people say yes.
Yeah. For example, imagine that you have a life with very bad decisions, no? Imagine, for
Correct?
example, this you are construct a bad future. It's supposed, no?
Yes,
But
yes, yes, yes.
but if on the end you will gonna to saw, no, to the back, to the things in the past,
Yes.
you saw that you are gonna to you will see all of your mistakes, no,
Yes,
As you
yes,
say on the decision, or this is the part that I say the interpretation, that you take your destiny, or like whatever you want. For example, if on this moment you interpretation all your life like a bad life, only for all the mistakes,
yeah.
the destiny is will be bad with you, no?
Of
For my,
course, of course.
it was, sorry, it was bad with you. But
Yes,
if you are like, if you saw now all your mistakes and say, "Whoa, the all the things made the person that I am right now." Maybe if I take another decisions before, and I thought another thoughts, and I think another thoughts before, maybe I'm gonna to have an bad life, not than the life that I live right now. This interpretation may constitute the value of all your life.
absolutely, absolutely. What you say is absolutely true, Luis. Sorry that I'm making another cup of coffee because the topic is so intense that I need an additional cup of coffee.
Don't worry, teacher, don't worry.
No, yeah. Oh, the topic is very intense, so I have a necessity of another cup of coffee. Well, let me tell you what I think. Um, the interpretation of your past actions is fundamental, is very, very important.
Yes, yes,
Let's
yes.
say that I say to myself, I'm making an analysis in
Okay.
retrospective. I say, well, I made this bad decision, this bad decision, this bad decision. Of course, I've made very good decisions also, and many very good decisions. So I
Mhm.
can make an analysis and have a conclusion which is crucial.
Yeah.
The mistakes that I made for me in this moment are lessons of life. That
Mhm.
changes my perspective
Yeah.
totally, dramatically.
Yes,
So instead
exactly.
of saying that's a bad fate, bad destiny, bad fortune, I can say is the opposite. I convert something bad into something good, like photosynthesis that converts CO2 into oxygen. I can
Okay.
make a conversion. I can say, well, that error that I made, that mistake that I made, in reality is a lesson for life. In a,
Yes.
if I take that attitude, I'm going to change my destiny. I'm going to change my destiny from a bad one to a good one. That's my idea. What do you think?
I agree with your idea. I think that the conclusion is very very crucial, and all the your thoughts at the end of your life define that if your life, if all of your each little decisions are right decisions or mistaken decisions. Yes, I agree with you, teacher.
Right, but the conclusion that you make is also part of your decisions. You have the decision of making an assessment, an evaluation. You can say, okay, my evaluation is this. Oh, the destiny has been terrible with me. You
Yeah.
are making a decision in the analysis and in the conclusions. Or you can say, well, in reality, life has given me many lessons. And I am learning from those lessons. And consequently, from now on in the future, I'm going to change my decisions. I'm going to be more thoughtful, more analytical, more critical, more
Yeah.
careful, more prudent. So,
No, se
what I
cortó.
mean, Luis, is that then you're going to take those mistakes that otherwise you would have said, oh, that was my destiny is terrible. No, you change your mindset and you say, that was not
Yeah.
bad, that was actually something good because that was a lesson that life gave me, right?
Exactly. Exactly. The
Very good.
all things depends, no, with this trigger, no, this trigger.
The trigger,
Trigger, sorry,
exactly.
sorry, sorry, trigger.
The
Yeah.
trigger. Well, that was Zeno of Citium. But then we have Heraclitus. Heraclitus, let's see what he said, please.
Heraclitus. Believe in the constant chant and flow of the universe. You cannot step into the same river twice. Yes, the famous aphorism now. The with this phrase, you will gonna to understand all of his thoughts, no?
Absolutely. Actually, it's a very beautiful phrase. You step into the river, right? And you come back to the river tomorrow, but it's a different river because it's
Yes.
different water.
Mhm.
Let me
And
ask you something. Can you say the same about a person?
yes, 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 obviously, teacher. Because we are the for example the my person that 1 hour before
It's different
more
from
more a little bit 5 words on English more than the another now, for example.
Yeah, well, you talk about words, but also about ideas, right?
Yes, ideas. And I think that when I stay when all the peoples stay on a reflexive, no, that we are reflexive, no, these philosophers and the ideas, when the people are on a reflexive
Still,
thoughts, they are
no.
resignificate his own ideas to a better ideas, like the dialectic, no, like the concept of dialectic, ¿no? O sea, como si if are better, ¿no? Her own ideas.
I'm gonna write what you just said because I believe it's incredibly important. Resignify. You're gonna resignify their own ideas of self. I originally 1 hour ago, I had an idea of myself. But in this moment, after our conversation, I have a new idea of myself. I think, well, I am a little bit different. Why?
Yeah,
Because I had a conversation with Luis, and he mentioned this, and I mentioned that, and this and that. The what you call the dialectic process,
yeah,
and it's very crucial. But then what you said also is that we need to be in a reflexive mood, right? That
yeah.
way, if you are in a reflexive mood, you can understand what is happening in yourself. You do this introspection or not.
Yes, 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 yeah. And it's very important that, but don't only on a reflexive mood in a whatever mood, in a whatever mood or a whatever action or a whatever thought, made us as different persons that even 1 second before.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the crucial, another crucial comment is these small changes that we are suffering
Okay.
are making us better people. How can we be in control of our thoughts and our surroundings? Surrounding is lo que nos rodea, right?
Yeah.
Surroundings, right? Alrededores. How can we control our surroundings in order for us to make sure that it's for our benefit? Because
Okay. Yeah.
not everything, not every moment that we face, that we confront, is something positive. Maybe one day we're going to see that a person is stealing an old lady, robbing an old lady, or committing a crime, or throwing paper in the street, or something that, or chopping trees, doing something that we don't appreciate and we don't like. So,
Yeah.
not everything that we encounter is going to be positive. How can we make, even from the bad, how can we make good even from the bad? Is the concept.
Okay. So government from
From the bad. How
from
can we do that?
mm, I think this idea are extremely relation with the another concepts that we have been taught now for the crucial conclusion. If we the good we make goodness or we make badness depends that the things that we frame like a goodness thing or a badness thing, no, these are only her no own notions of notion or own interpretation of the thing. So the the surroundings are only on a like an reaction, no? But they don't have they don't have need to be too better or to baddest, no, on a reaction with us. I think that these things only depend of where we own interpretation and the ultimate conclusion.
Okay, depend on our interpretation.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes, I agree. They all depend on our interpretation. And the interpretation is going to be carried out. We're going to do the interpretation based on our own life, on our own experiences, because there is not a magic formula over there on the board. We do the interpretation, we make the interpretation based on our personal experience and the our vision of the world. You have a vision of the world, you can see a mountain, and I
hmm,
will see the same mountain, and your dad is going to see the same mountain, and
yeah,
my daughters will see the same mountain, and we're going to see different things. Maybe I'm going to see the trees, the nature, the foliage, the green. Maybe you're going to see the silhouette. You're going to say, oh, it's a very perfect mountain. Maybe your dad is going to see a possibility of climbing. Maybe my
yeah,
daughters will see a potential trip. Even
yeah.
if we all see the same thing, our interpretation will be different. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, but I'll say have one comment. You remember that I say that the destiny stay on tension, no? I think also the truth that you say that the people have many interpretations now of the same thing, and you give
Different
them
people have could be different people could have right.
cool. Yes,
Different
yes, cool,
could
cool.
have
Yes,
different
I am
interpretation. Yes,
cool. But the truth of what is the meaning of the things, of what are the things, or whatever question or that stay on discrepancy of the points of views are also on tension and grow like the truth it will be gonna to grow and gonna to mostrarse, no,
to
I
show itself.
yes, to show itself. Imagine that some people have one interpretation for one thing, but eventually these people it will be gonna to know that don't are a lot of things, are only one thing, and this thing eventually it will gonna to show, no, to themselves.
I think that agreement, that the agreement will be reached after a dialogue. When you and I have a dialogue, we say that's a big mountain, and then you will say, no, big mountain is the Himalayas mountain. I say, which Himalayas mountain? Well, there are some Himalayas in Asia, and they have 8,000 meters height. Oh, really? Oh, well, this is only 2,000 meters high. Well,
Yeah,
so we can make an agreement, but there needs to be a dialogue. So we need a dialogue that is the dialectic process to come to an agreement. Otherwise, if there is not this dialogue, if we don't have this dialogue, you will think one thing and I will think something different, right?
yeah,
Possibly, possibly. Very interesting, Luis. Well, we always have very interesting conversations, Luis.
yeah,
Truly, this was something to reflect, to be thinking about.
yeah.
Okay. Are you on vacation?
Sorry.
Are you on vacation?
I stay on vacation, but I entered to the school on 5th of August.
The 5th of August. Okay.
These are my last week.
So possibly on Friday in the morning, if you have time, we can have another
Yes, teacher.
session,
Sure.
maybe.
Thank you, teacher.
All
Yes.
right. So we send an email just to set the time, right? They say that set the time. Okay.
Okay. Yes. Thank you,
Very
teacher.
good, Luis. Well, congratulations. Good job as usual, Liz. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, teacher.
Take care. See you Friday day then.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. Thank you. Take care.